So you're going to take 36 pictures or more all together, take it into Lightroom, make a contact sheet. Before you do anything, make a contact sheet. Then I want you to go through your images and look at the ones that you shot specifically to become black and white. Okay, choose one of those images. One of the images that you think, when I convert this to black and white, it's going to be, that's perfect. And then the same thing out of your color images. Out of all your color images, find the one that you think just screams color, because that's the color image. After you make your contact sheet and you're in Lightroom and you find that image. So I have an image up here that I selected already in my head. And I'm going to scroll up. And so I've got this image here of where I didn't get to go this summer. That's near my house in Maine. So it didn't have a lot of color in it. No, there's not much to it. So I think that this one might work for my black and white. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose the image that you think is going to work for black and white. And if you're on a Mac, you're going to be in the picture area here, hit your control button, and then click your trackpad or your mouse. And right here we have create a virtual copy. So now you have two. And you know it's a virtual copy because there's a term down here. It's called dog-eared. When I was a kid, that's how we would mark our books. And it's called dog earring or puppy earring. So you know this is a copy because it's got the little dog ear and it says 2 of 2. So I think this one's going to be a good black and white image. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my color. I got this picture down here of some pumpkins. Pumpkins are orange. So I think this is going to be my good color image. So I'm going to make a duplicate. So now I'm going to go back up to my second wharf picture and I double click on it and it takes me into the image, and then I'm going to click on develop and be in the develop mode. Oh, great. So this is the problem if you aren't sourcing your pictures correctly. So see how it says file cannot be found? Oh, this is a problem. I did everything prior to class so that this wouldn't happen, except what I just did. Let me see if that's going to happen to my pumpkins too. I'm sure it's going to. Oh, that's not good. Let's see if the same thing happens to my pumpkins. So what has just happened? Oh, thankfully it didn't do it to the pumpkins. So what just happened with that wharf picture is that that picture is existing someplace other than where my catalog thinks it is. This is what you should not ever have happen to you, but that picture is not where the catalog thinks it is, so file can't be found. But thankfully the pumpkins are. So we'll get back to the pumpkins. You're going to be doing the same thing with your other image. So I've got 2 pumpkins, and I thought the pumpkins are going to be great in color, so not in black and white. So double click on it, go into develop, good, file is found. And over here in underneath your histogram, these are a whole bunch of tools that we'll start using when we get into some other projects. But a couple of them that are good to know, period, is the ability to crop things if you have red eye, things like that. This is a brush that I'll teach you soon. It's a nice brush to use. But notice right here, treatment, color, black and white. Just simply click on it. Now it's black and white. Ooh, I was right, wasn't I? I was really right. Because I shot this picture to be in color. Now, there are some things I can do to fix it. It needs more contrast. So I could definitely try and help it, make it look a little bit bigger. But since I was attracted to the color, it does not work in black and white. Like I said, you can tweak it, try and bring your whites out, pull your blacks down. You can try and help it out, but that was the point. I shot it as a color image, so it doesn't work in black and white. However, some of you may have images that when you convert it to black and white, oh, I like it better. Oh, I thought it was a colorful image and I thought I was going to love it as color, but actually, no, I think I like it better in black and white. Or you may have an image that you shot for color and then you take a look at it and you're like, it's not better, it's just different and I like it. Or you may have what I just had, which is like, no, this was a color image no matter what, and it's not working. Let me see if this one can be found. So this is another image that I thought about converting to black and white. I was going to do the wharf, but I don't have my wharf picture properly. So I'll do the same thing. I'll make a copy, virtual copy. So this is one that I thought, there's not a whole lot of color in it, so maybe it'll work in black and white. So do the same thing, go into develop, hit black and white. I don't know. Needs a little bit more contrast for sure. I need those blacks to be a little richer. You know, I need to fuss with it a little bit. I don't know. That blue sky was nice, but it does sort of work in black and white too. I would probably play with it even more. I don't know. Go back into the library and look at them side by side. Another thing I wanted to show you too, if you haven't paid attention, down here in your bottom scrolls is how you can display your library. Right now it's in grid mode. So if I wanted to compare two images with each other, just hit X, Y. It's different in black and white. It's dreary in black and white, but it's kind of a dreary thing. So I don't know, maybe they both work. And that may happen to you. You may say, oh, I thought this was going to be great in black and white, and no, it didn't work at all. Those are the things that I want you to note and write observations. And I probably looked really stupid and all that too, so I'm going to have to edit it out of my movie. So can you all see it now? Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So what I was saying is that these 4 images are not really images yet. It's just metadata within Lightroom. So you are going to export these 4 images as their own files. Because right now they just exist in Lightroom like this as metadata. So you're going to go up in Lightroom and get this out of the way. In Lightroom, you're going to go up to export. It's going to ask you where, like I said before. I'm going to export to the desktop. And if you want to put a subfolder within the folder, so you know, hopefully you guys are doing it to either an external hard drive or your own hard drive. Make sure you know where it's going. Make a subfolder if you want. I called it GoMono. Now this is the really important part. Just like Lightroom has all these, you know, things to the right and things to the left that you can scroll through. This is a larger box. It does not end at video. You go down here and this is very important. How are you going to export it? Well, we haven't done JPEG versus RAW yet. So for this, JPEG, great. Let's just do it as a JPEG. For JPEG versus RAW, you're going to either export it as a PSD or a TIFF, your RAW file, not your JPEG. JPEG as JPEG, but your RAW file will either be a PSD or a TIFF. But for this assignment, JPEG, fine. Color space. The color space, the first time you do this, is going to come up as Adobe RGB. I don't get into this much in this class, but if you ever take color and light, I will explain to you what all these things mean and what they are. I prefer sRGB, so I tell my students to use sRGB because most of them do too. Then you go ahead and hit export, and it's exporting all 4. But like I said, you can do this one at a time if you would like. Notice that we have an export processing bar here. It does take a while to do 4. And these are JPEGs, so it's not as large as when you do your RAW files as PDF, PSD or TIFF. And then I made this GoMono folder here, and there they are as JPEGs. So you will load these 4 up and your contact sheet, as well as either create a doc or Word file that where you write your observations. And what are those observations going to be? Like, oh, wow, I thought that was going to be horrible in black and white, and it looks great. Or, oh yeah, that had to be a color image. Nope, there's no question in my mind, that had to be a color image.